Hello guys, Crafty here, and today I'm bringing you a pre-release Magic 2015 deck build. Um, I had just moved recently, about 2 weeks ago, to the wonderful area of Hornell, New York. And right before I moved, I decided to sell my Magic collection, which was, in hindsight, a dumb idea. Because no sooner than maybe 2-3 weeks after I sold it, I realized and discovered a gaming shop called Stomping Grounds in Main Street, Hornell, which is quite literally 5 minutes from where I live. And I sold my cards because I thought there was going to be nothing of that sort in the area because it is a somewhat small town. And generally, shops like that, don't, I don't know, whatever. Too long, didn't listen. I'm back. And I decided to go to the pre-release because I wanted to support the shop. And probably not make many friends. So here I am. This was the deck that I ran. I started with white. I got the... Oh, God. Such a professional. Got the white starter kit, Hunt with Valor. And quite honestly, I don't know why, because I went into this without card knowledge. I didn't really look up what was coming into Magic 2015 because honestly, I've been out of Magic for a little bit. I haven't played any of the Born of the Gods set. And this is what I ended up with. I didn't know what cards were going to be in the set, so I decided, give me white. So this is what I pulled. Actually, this is my 40 card deck that I ran. Can't really see too much. I mean, you could probably identify it from the art and the wonderful camera that I have and the lighting setup. But red, white, 6 mountains, 6 mountains, 9 plains. And a Radiant Fountain, and a Battlefield Forge. Now, the Battlefield Forge just so happened to be there. It wasn't the reason I played Red-White. Honestly, I didn't want to play it to begin with. But there are actually times where it actually came in handy. So a nice little mini pain land there. So 17 lands, 23 other cards. Pretty much standard fare for a sealed deck. Red, I only went red because of this card, because of pulling this card. It is the Soul of Chandalar. I played red because of that card. Not once in every single match that I played did I draw that card. Draw or play. Duh, if I didn't draw, I didn't play it. So that was fun. So let's start on the white side, what I actually had some decent stuff of. Start with the spells. I had 3 Raise the Alarm, put 2 1/1 white soldier creature tokens onto the battlefield. Solid opening for me on my second turn. The curve was actually pretty good too. I had a lot of 2s and 3s. But we'll get into that later. But Raise the Alarm, 2 creatures for 2 mana at instant speed as a common. It worked. It pretty much was the reason why I won. I played one deck that had white in it. Everybody else was black, green, and I played, yeah, pretty much. I didn't really play any other white decks. Enchantments, got Divine Favor. Enchant creature, gain 3 life, +1/+3. Didn't really get to play that a lot, but, pop that on a token, it's, somewhat of a threat now. Plus you get life out of it, which is pretty nice. Marked by Honor, Chant creature. Wow. Chanted creature gets +2/+2 in its Vigilance. Came in handy sometimes. Vigilance, always good. Always good. Ephemeral Shields. I only had 1 copy of this, but you can convoke it, which means you take away the colorless mana if you tap a creature you have controlled. And target creature gains indestructible until end of turn. I can't tell you how many times this card saved my creatures. Bait somebody into a bad block, or, look like a block that they... a good trade for them. Nope. Not going to be a trade today. Boop. Make it indestructible. This this did some work. This one little card did a lot of work for me, and that's that's what it comes down to. It's an instant. Creatures, Razorhoof Griffin, or Razorfoot. My bad. I'm reading this upside down. I apologize. Razorfoot Griffin. 4 mana. It's a Griffin. Flying. First strike, 2/2. Right there, if you can't tell. Didn't really get to see too much play, but when he came into play, he mattered. Evasion's always good. Flying's always good, especially when you're in sealed. Control, I faced one control deck and a semi-control deck in black, which was my last opponent, but we'll talk about him in a minute if he's watching. Midnight Guard, 3 mana. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield, untap Midnight Guard for a 2/3. A 2/3 for 3, and he's a common. I was very sad I only had one of him, because he is a lot better than you would think. When a creature comes in, if he's untapped and the opponent plays a creature first before attacking, guess what? You just gave me a blocker. So that mattered a lot. That mattered a lot in my games. Warden of the Beyond, another 3, 2/2 Vigilant, and it gets +2/+2 as long as the opponent owns a card in exile. Did not matter. Did not matter. None of my opponents played exile. He was only in the deck because I needed creatures. I was extremely thin on creatures. A lot of my creatures came from tokens, and I don't have it here, but it was a 6-drop that allowed me to put in 3 1/1 flying white tokens. I don't know where that went to, but that was in my deck. This was what I ended with, so it was sideboarded out because I needed faster cards, and it was a 6-drop. Even with Convoke, I needed the creatures to block, so I couldn't tap them. Go over here to Orzkos Swiftclaw. Again, it's reading upside down. It's really fun. A 3/1 for 2, vanilla creature. Huge front end. Never really got to play him. He was a sideboard card in last minute too because I needed quick stuff. Because my last opponent had to deal with graveyard retrieval, Liliana Vess, and pulling things back out from the graveyard, blah, blah, blah. Soulmender. A 1/1 for 1 that you tap and gain a life. Somewhat useful, because I used him for damage and life gain, so it was pretty good. Selfless Cather makes a return, 1/1 for 1. Pay 1 and a white, sacrifice him. All my creatures get +1/+1. He actually held off a lot of people just due to him being on the field, because I could pump my creatures and make them either lethal or survive, blah, blah, blah. So that was white. That was my white pool. Not bad. As you can see, not even a single white rare. And only one white uncommon. Pretty bad. I had bad pools, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. Red. Spells. Lava Axe. 2 Lava Axe. I don't know how it's viewed in sealed, but were people going to admonish me for having it? But I killed a lot of people with it. There were a lot of times where I ended games with Lava Axe. Because my opponent was sitting on very low life. 2 Hammer Hands. Enchantment, Aura. When it enters the battlefield, target creature can't block this turn. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1, has haste. This did a lot of work too. A lot of times, people would attack, leave 1 blocker. Guess what? Hammer Hand, boom, can't block, win. Very, very good. I also used it a lot to make my creatures a little bit bigger than my opponent's, so it would survive and wouldn't get blocked. Inferno Fist, I really wish I had more of these. Really, really good. Enchanted creature you control. Enchanted creature gets +2 attack, +2 power. And pay a red, sacrifice Inferno Fist, deals 2 damage to target creature or player. Really, really good, just from the fact of it's a shock on the field that you can see. Soul of Chandelar, obviously, it's a part of the new Soul series. It's the Titans of whatever. It's the Titans of this set. Your standard 6s. So you got 4 colorless, 2 red, blah blah blah. It's a 6/6 for 6. Again, your standard Titans, first strike, and it can do a whole bunch of damagey stuff. It's like Inferno It's like Inferno Titan Light, I guess you want to call it that. Not as good as Inferno Titan, but it can do some nifty stuff if you're sitting on a lot of mana. So that does that. And Krenko's Enforcer. 2 red and a colorless. It's a 2/2 with Intimidate. Can't tell you how many games I was screwed because of this. That 2 little red. Didn't really want to play him, but I had 2 of them, and it's Intimidate, and Invasion is needed in Sealed, and when he worked, he worked. When I didn't have the mana for him, I lost games, and it sucked. But I had 2 of him, and he worked pretty well. This video is going on for 10 minutes because I like to ramble. Let's go Artifacts. Scuttling Doom Engine for 6. 6/6 for 6. This guy wins games. Can't be blocked by creatures power of 2 or less. When Scuttling Doom Engine dies, it deals 6 damage to target opponent. This matters. This matters a lot. I was staring down... Again, I was staring down my opponent. I think it was game 3. My opponent with the graveyard removal, black. And he had the... I think it was the rare demon that allowed you to... you could draw a card if your opponent didn't sacrifice a creature or pay 3 life. I had him on the field. He was at 8. I sacked him. He was down to 2. And that's when the fun happened. But very good card. This wins a lot of games. Gargoyle Sentinel. Powerhouse. Very good powerhouse for me. Appeared in almost every single game I played, and he mattered. 3/3 for 3. He's a defender, but you can pay 3, and he'll gain flying and lose defender until end of turn. Really good on offense and defense. And Tyrant's Machete. Wait. Yeah, Tyrant's Machine. Oops. 2. Pay 4. Tap target creature. Did some work. It did some work. But as you can see, this is the deck that I played. More or less, this is what it ended up being every time I sideboarded, because I had a lot of more expensive cards, but this was like the end game. And as you can see, it wasn't very good. I have 1 Mythic that I never saw. 1 rare that did some work, and that's about it. Everything else was commons. So I pretty much went undefeated. Oh, yeah, by the way, I went undefeated. I won this mat as a result, and probably didn't make any friends at the new place. So there you have it. That's my deck for pre-release, my red-white. I don't even know what the hell to call that. It's red-white junk. I can't even call it junk because that's a real type, but... red-white garbage. As for pulls, I don't really care to say that because I got 8 packs out of it and a mat, so you know, can't go wrong for another return. So there you go. That's my video. Thank you guys for watching. My name's Crafty. I'll leave you the link in the description to Stomping Grounds. I don't know if you want to check their website out, but you're gonna get it. So there you go. Take care. Bye bye, and game on.